Welcome to Booking Koala. In this video, I'll go ahead and show you what you can do inside of Booking Koala and all of the features that come inside. So stay tuned. It is a lengthy video, but after the end, you should be able to understand what you can do in here, and hopefully this answers some of your questions that you may have. Okay, so here we have set up a few demo accounts so that we could go ahead and display all of the options and features that we have inside. So currently I am inside the merchant account, okay? And this is your account, your owner account that you can go ahead and manage all your settings from, set up your bookings and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and get started. As you can see, this is how everything looks like when you first get inside. You already see some upcoming bookings, some bookings that have been completed, and we'll talk over every single feature in here, so bear with me. Okay, so right now, first step, when we land, we are on the dashboard, and I'll talk over everything briefly, and then we'll come back to it and go one by one so you could get a feel for every single option. Okay, so dashboard, again, we went over this. Here you have a tab for bookings, so today's bookings will be shown here. Any upcoming bookings will be shown here. Assigned bookings or unassigned bookings. This folder contains all the bookings that are unassigned and no one is attached to them. From here, I'll go ahead and make an unassigned booking later in the demo so that you could go ahead and see how that looks like. Job history, you can go ahead and look over all of your appointments that have been completed. Any canceled appointments can be viewed here, and I'll show you some examples of those as well. Charges, completed bookings will show up under pending charges, and you'll be able to charge them all from here and do whatever you'd like, which we'll talk about that later. Any completed charges will be shown here, where you can go ahead and refund everything. Drafts, if you have any saved drafts that were incomplete, that will be shown here. Customers, all of them will be shown in here, so you could add new ones. You could go ahead and view all the ones that you have, view their profiles on the inside, any referral credits, gift cards that they might have attached. You could go ahead and view all that from here. Any deactivated customers will be shown here. Providers, you could go ahead and add new providers as individuals. You could go ahead and set up teams with multiple individuals inside. And then on the inside, inside the listing page, you'll be able to see all of them. If it's a team, it'll tell you with the tag of how many are inside. And then you could go ahead and go and look over every single person. Now, payments, and I'll go ahead and talk to you about all the options that you could do with providers as well in a little bit. Now you see the payments page where all of the payments would be calculated here, and you could adjust them before you send any payments out. Any logs will be shown here, and I'll go ahead and create those live for you so you could go ahead and see how everything looks like. Marketing channels, so coupons, you could go ahead and create your coupons, added them based on many different limitations. Gift cards, you could send out gift cards from inside of your account. You can go ahead and I'll show you how the customer end looks like as well, and the provider end, so you can see what they can all do as well, and we'll go in order. So now this is, you host all of your gift cards in here, so if you have any purchase gift cards, they'll be shown here. Send gift card, so you'll be able to send a gift card from inside here like I mentioned. Gift card gallery, so if you want to upload your own gift cards from people to choose from, you could go ahead and do that. Email lists, this is something that is a marketing strategy where, and we'll talk about this later, you can basically set up cart abandonments and cool stuff like that so you can upsell clients later. You go ahead and customize your referral page for your clients from here. So if you have a business or you're in a different country and your clients don't speak English, you go ahead and modify this in your own language. You could do the same thing for your gift card page as well in your booking forms. Everything is customizable. Reports, you have tons of reports here to choose from, and we'll go over all of them one by one You could see some of them: revenue report, bookings, and when you go inside, there's more details. Payments report, ratings report, and all these cool reports that we'll talk about later. System logs, anything that anyone done, any actions performed by customers or your staff members or yourself, they will all be logged here, which you could later click and view them in detail. And then here you have all your settings, which you could go ahead and set up everything. So this is basic. This is your private information, your subscription plan, your billing information. Then you have your store options where you could start setting everything up. Okay, so you could change your logo over here, and also what your customer will see. Once you upload one here, that's what will be displayed. View things here, and then a bunch of options to customize your store to your liking, which I'll go ahead and talk over on this in detail. Themes. So themes are coming soon. This is something that we are currently building out. It is a website builder that you will be able to pick from free themes that we'll offer and create your own website basically within a second. And then if you want to change text and cool stuff like that, pictures, you could use those features that we offer, drag and drop features and everything to make it easy for you, build your own landing pages and cool stuff like that. Industries, this is where you can go ahead and set up all of your industries, your forms, your locations, different pricing for different locations, customize your booking forms if you'd like. So you could go ahead and upload your backgrounds and all this cool stuff. So let's see, I'm not sure why this one's okay. So here it is. Select background image, you could upload your own, and I'll show you how some of the forms look like. Basically everything could be customized here. You could then embed your forms, which I'll show you what that means. Staff members, so if you have any office staff members, you could go ahead and create them here. And then once you have them in here, you go ahead and set permissions of what they see inside this account and what they do not see. Booking spots, this goes hand in hand with your scheduling, which I'll talk in detail later since it's a very important and big part of Booking Koala. Notifications, you could go ahead and pick from all these notifications to get activated based on actions. So here are email notifications for yourself, admin, staff members, alerts, and customer notifications, provider, and of course for your staff when you're signing them up and stuff like that. So when you put one in, here would if you have this enabled, a new account email would be launched to them and certain things like that. So, and you could customize every single one of them to your liking, which I'll again talk to you in detail. So here is a nice little feature. You could go ahead and flip out the images and do whatever you'd like. Apps and integrations. So whenever we have new integrations, we'll go ahead and put them in here and show you how to do them in our help center so that you can go ahead and set everything up for yourself. And if you need help, we're here, of course. And then this is a site menu, which will allow you to change your colors and match your branding and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and, so this is a quick little overview of the admin side and what you'll see. Now, we did not talk about any of the in-depth features, which we'll go ahead and cover in just a little bit. Now, I'll go ahead and show you how the inside of the customer account looks like. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the customer end. So here I already logged in. So this person had a booking. So as you can see already, a request to review the provider and the services already showing up the moment they log in. I'll skip it for now, and then we'll go ahead and continue from that. And again, all these colors could be customized to your liking. So now as a customer, I'm logged in and I see all of my upcoming bookings, who are they with, when they're happening, and all this cool stuff. So if you have multiple locations, multiple industries, it will all be displayed here properly, all in one account. If you have any previous history, it will all be shown here, as you can see. This cool stuff. Canceled appointments, you could go ahead and if you cancel an appointment, they'll be shown here, and someone could later come in and resume them if they like. And then here you have some basic settings: edit your personal details, change your password, gift card. No gift cards at the moment. if there are any, or if this person sent out any, they'll be shown here with current balances, which is automatically updated all the time. And then here they could go ahead and send gift cards from inside their account as well. Earn credits. You could go ahead and earn credits per per job, and then I'll show you how that looks like later as well. You can go ahead and track what everybody does. So when they're invited, when they book, when they're completed it, and then you'll have a log of all of your all of those credits that you're keeping track of. Okay. So now if you want to make a booking for any industry, if you have multiple, that pop-up will show, and then you could go ahead and just continue. So as you can see, certain things are already pre-filled, and these booking pages can be modified to your liking, so you could go ahead and disable certain things. As you can see here, we have set up different ways of how the booking forms could look like. So if you want to test form 1 or 2, you can go ahead and do that. So form 2 is package based. You just click the sedan and the package you're interested in, you add it, and then you go ahead and see it here, which then you'll see it takes 30 minutes, $29. You could decide if you want someone coming into your location, or if the customer wants you to come to their location, or they will travel to your store, which now they could go ahead and pick from the location, and now that they know to go ahead and go there. And we have some cool things if you want to upload your location here, so it's easy for them to find cool little things like that are very helpful. And then they could go ahead and continue booking that appointment. Okay, so let's reselect this package, and it unselected it currently because I switched locations. And like I mentioned earlier, you could set different pricing parameters for different locations, and if you switch or put a new zip code in, it will reset, because once someone comes in here and they put a new zip code, it has to check for the new pricing parameters, which will automatically reset the form because the price might change. Okay, so now we're on the second step, and here you can see you could go ahead and schedule appointments. You could set up interesting things of whatever you'd like. You could go ahead and basically control how many, if the customer sees how many jobs were completed by this provider, what the ratings of this provider may be, and all this cool stuff. If they have previous providers, they could go ahead and search their availability, and it's 100% accurate, no overlappings, nothing like that. As you can see, this person had 11 completed jobs. Or if they heard about this, about a specific provider or team from, let's say, Yelp, they read good things about them, they could go ahead and come to the form and just search for them on their own, and then check their availability. Okay, and we'll talk about this in more depth a little bit later. And here they could go ahead and complete their booking process, save it, they'll get a confirmation in various ways that you can, of course, set this up, and they'll be all good to go. So that's how this looks like. Now let's go ahead and show you how the provider's end looks like. So here I logged in as a provider. They see any today's bookings, if there are any upcoming bookings, and then their job history. So if there are ratings or anything like that, they'll be displayed here. If there are any comments left, they'll be displayed here for the provider as well. They could see the rating, which could be turned off if you don't want them seeing any comments or any ratings. You can go ahead and turn this off. And then when they go inside, they could see more details on the job itself. Okay, and this will come in different apps as well. So provider could log in inside an app version of this as well. So can a customer, and eventually you'll be able to do that as a merchant as well, and control your whole business on the go. So there's various ways to log into these. Currently, there are several. You can go ahead and do it from a desktop as a provider. You can go ahead and do it from a tablet, and you can do it from a laptop, whatever you like, mobile device. So there's no limitations on that. You could do it on the go. So to continue with that, you can go ahead and click on Assigned Bookings, which there currently are none here, but I'll show you later how that looks like. What you could do here is you could set up access for the provider to go inside the Unassigned Bookings folder, and if there are any unassigned bookings that they are qualified for, they have to be in that service area they have to be working that service area, that specific location, that specific service. Then they will be able to see that unassigned booking, and if they like what they see, they could go ahead and grab that booking, so that you don't have to chase people down to pick up extra jobs. If they want to make extra money, they could go ahead and simply just grab that job and save you a lot of headache. The rest is basically pretty self-explanatory. You have your information here, your drive if you upload anything here as a provider, or if you as the admin upload anything in here, they'll be able to see it unless you make it private. Payments, if there are any payment logs, they'll be able to be seen here, and I'll show you how that looks like later as well. And then reviews, all the reviews on that provider can be seen here. Okay, so that is basically the three different dashboards that come with Booking Koala. And now let's go ahead, before I start going over all the options, I want you to understand the booking forms a little bit more in depth, so that you don't have any questions on those. So we already talked briefly about how the booking forms are. So as you can see, here is a booking form, and you've seen one that was similar. Automatically, when you sign up for Booking Koala, we'll give you a booking form and a link where customers can automatically access this form. You could give them to this link. And if you don't want to use this link, you could go ahead and embed all of these forms onto your current website that you may already have. And here's an example of how that looks like. So it looks like this is a live website, and customer lands on the homepage of this website. Then they could go ahead and click on book a cleaning, and this is for a home cleaning industry. And then they'll go ahead and land on the page that has these forms embedded. And as you can see, these are customly made towards this service. So this is how it looks like. It fits mobile devices, desktop, so it is 100% responsive whenever someone lands on there. As you can see, this service covers 3 different types of industries. So based on whatever you select, you can go ahead and set up your cleaning that the customer would like. Okay, and this one is for office cleaning. They click on it and they could start making an appointment for that. As you can see, do you know your square footage? Yes, I do. If they do, they could go ahead and type in their square footage, which now will give them a price, or they could book per hour if they don't know their square footage. Let's say they want someone for 3 hours or whatever, they'll go ahead and get a price. And then here's a post-construction industry. What type of property needs cleaning? Home, residential, office, commercial. And then for home, you can go ahead and select the packages that you would like performed. If it's office commercial, then again, you could go ahead and answer the questions and continue with the booking process. Okay, so this is how that would look like. Here is the login page that people would access. Customers of this service of King of Maids would come into the login page, click over here, sign in with Facebook, Google, or whatever they have set up. They could go ahead and log in through here, or simply sign up for an account. And if they sign up for an account, they'll go ahead and get inside, which basically will look like the customer account that I showed you. Okay, also King of Maids here has gift cards embedded on their site as well. So if a customer books, a King of Maids customer purchases a gift card, it'll all be done from here. Once they finish it, they'll be redirected to inside of their account, which again looked like this, and then they could go ahead and continue all of that cool stuff. So this is from a different industry. This is not King of Maids login, so that's why it's not the same colors and all that, but you can go ahead and match the purple inside and do whatever you'd like. And then that's how the customer, when they would land in there, they would see all that cool stuff. And then the providers of King of Maids could also go to kingofmaids.com/login, log in through here and access their entire account and control their jobs and all that cool stuff. Okay, so that is basically how it works. Next year sometime in 2019, we'll be introducing a website builder that you could go ahead and come to Booking Koala and pick a theme, pick the industry you are in, and within a click of a button, you'll have a website made, and you will have all your booking forms made already embedded on that website. So then you could just connect your domain, connect your bank account if you accept credit cards, And if you don't want to change any of the content on there, you are ready to go. Or you could customize your website with drag and drop options, customize your booking forms to your liking, and then you'll be able to control everything, including all of your clients, all from one spot. Okay, so that's basically how it works. And now we can go ahead and continue going through all the cool features that are in here if you're interested to continue with the video. So now that you saw all of these awesome features or awesome things that you can do so far, let's go ahead and continue. Excuse me. Okay, so now as you can see, this has two industries set up, this account. So we have car wash, and we have pool cleaning, and a lot of the things were already set up. So now if I want to book, someone's calling in to book them for the car wash industry, you can go ahead and do that. Okay, and I'm not sure currently why this is running so slow, maybe because this is a very old account that we made before any of the changes were made. So bear with me if there's some load time. This does not happen when you have an actual account with us. So right now, this is what you see. Whatever you set up here, you can go ahead and decide if a customer will see it or it's just on your end. For example, you could have different services that you can book, but they will not be able to book them. So for example, for a home cleaning, we have something like re-cleans. A customer is not able to book for that, but we would be able to go ahead and book them if they call in and complain or something along those lines. So there's a lot of things that you could achieve from here. So let's go ahead and pick some random things. So customer says that they will come to our location for the car wash. They'll bring the car here, and we'll go ahead and set up one of the closest locations based on zip code to them. And then we'll go ahead and see if they're an existing customer. If so, we'll pull up their information and then start booking. So this is one way that you can go ahead and set up your forms. Like I said, there's multiple. I could go ahead and quickly show you some other ones. So here's another one. Again, we'll pick the same thing, and then over here, they tell me that, okay, I have a sedan and I want sedan interior cleaning, and I want actually all of them. So you can go ahead and add all of them, and it's a custom tailored package, $88, and you can customize the time, the job length to whatever you want. And then you already know if they have any coupons later and all that cool stuff, you can go ahead and apply it. So now let's pick a random person. Okay, and then we'll go to step 2. Okay, so now we'll just pick from someone random. As you can see, as a admin, you could go ahead and schedule jobs even in the past. Customers don't have that feature. They can only do it from today and going forward if you allow them, or you could start them from the next day and do not allow same-day bookings. Or for us, we'll go ahead and do a same-day booking if someone's available, $10, and it picks someone random. And here you see they're getting paid $50 automatically for this job because we set that up under their profile. And here you could still change it to whatever you want so that later it's properly calculated. So if you want to give them, let's say, $60 for this job, you can go ahead and do that. And you can see that that provider is getting $60 and the customer is paying $88. Okay, and here's, you could go ahead and do tips. If for any case, you can go ahead and disable some of this stuff as well if you don't want any of it or certain parts. You can go ahead and get rid of this. Like parking wouldn't make sense if someone's coming to you, so you probably would want to turn this off. If you want to give any bonuses, you can go ahead and do so as well. And as you can see now, this went up to $78. Okay, the customer's paying $96.80 with the tip that they may be leaving. Here you could do some private notes and stuff like that about the customer for the specific job and all this cool stuff. Here you'll go ahead and finish the process. You can see that it's already pre-filled because it's an existing customer. Any notes could be left here. Here you could set some reminders for yourself. So for example, 2 days before the job, I want to know about this, and you'll get emailed with that reminder. Here, if you set this, you could go ahead and show a message that if you're about to charge this customer, there might be a message in red that shows up right when you're charging them, reminding you something. So there's cool little features like that. You could always override the price. You could always override the time. If there's an expedited charge for same-day appointment, you could go ahead and charge it. You could also set it up that it automatically adds onto it. So we won't do any of that stuff at the moment, and we'll just go ahead and click book now in just a second. And here you could see that you could still change the providers that are here. So you could see that if someone's available, you could go ahead and switch them before you book them. And you could also see if there's anybody that's not available, currently not working that day or that time. And they might be, that might be their day off or whatever. But if you spoke to them and they say, yeah, I would like to pick up this job, you could quickly assign it to them. And then they will be shown as an NA tag instead, to let you know that they usually don't work those days. Okay, and they will remain closed. So if this person cancels later, no one else could book them. Okay, so we'll go ahead and save this booking anyways. And then you could go ahead and create a bunch of notifications that'll basically be sent out to anybody that you created to. So you could go ahead and set one up for the customer, notifying them that, hey, you're confirmed. Here's your receipt as well, the provider that they got a new booking. And since there's different types of ways to set everything up, we'll get there later because it's a lot to address all at one time. But that's basically how you go ahead and book a service. Now, we already talked over this. This is pretty straightforward. But let's go ahead and touch base on that. Here's the price of the service. You can go ahead and go back inside and edit it at any time. A customer can do that too. They could reschedule, do whatever they want. You could go ahead and cancel it. You could postpone the service if it's a reoccurring service. Say someone doesn't want you coming for several weeks or something like that. You could go ahead and push it. You could go ahead and cancel the entire thing or all of them. Here you could set up your own reasons of why that person's canceling, and customer will be able to choose from this list as well. And later you could run reports to find why they are canceling your services and optimize your business. Here you could see there are a couple tags. You could see this one is a service area, letting you know that, okay, they booked for service location, meaning that they want you to come to them. Merchant location means your location. They are coming to you. And if you offer only service area or merchant location, you could go ahead and do that as well. You don't have to have both activated at all. Here, job history, you could rate on behalf of the customer. And here you just basically have a couple details. You can go ahead and tip. If someone calls in and wants to tip after the service is complete, you can go ahead and add it from your end, or they could do it from their end. And here, this is notifying you that this is still not charged. It's pending. Okay. And then you have a couple filters. So if you have multiple industries, multiple locations, you could go ahead and run that based on filters. Okay, so now same thing basically in today's, but this is a separate section. And this is made for scaling, so you don't have to look at a calendar view. It might be preferred when you're smaller, but as soon as you get to some serious growth, this gets very complicated, and you want it more organized, where it's just all in a row. It's all upcoming in order, and it looks perfect over here. And then let's see, you have your unassigned bookings, which I'll show you how this works right now. Actually, this is one of my favorite features that we have. So let's go ahead and say someone is calling and no one else is available to take this job at the moment. So now I don't want to move the whole recurring service. I'll just want to move the this booking only, and I'll go ahead and move it for the same day and same time. And I'll just go ahead and click update booking. And you saw a couple things under there, which I'll explain later what they do. So let it go ahead and finish processing. Okay, so now this is inside the unassigned folder. So now it will tell you that this booking belongs, it doesn't belong to anyone. It's in the unassigned folder. And let's see how all of that cool stuff looks like. So now inside the unassigned folder, there's one booking. And now you could go ahead and directly assign it to someone if you spoke to them. So you could see a lot of cool stuff here, reviews and all this stuff. You could pick a team, you could search, someone's not available, and we'll talk more about that later. You can go ahead and assign it to them. I'll show you even how that looks like. You could go ahead and send invites to everyone that's either unavailable, available, or both. You could select everybody, okay? And then you could go ahead and include a message. Hey, we will pay you extra $20 to whoever picks up this job first, okay? And then you will go ahead and decide where should they get notified. Should it be all of them? And they'll get a message, and you'll go ahead and send this out, and they'll all get a message, hey, there's this, and whatever you wrote, to go ahead and either accept it and decline it, and they'll go ahead and whoever takes it first, it'll disappear from here and go into their account. And if you sent one out, there'll be a reminder thing that you could send another reminder to all those people that you already sent an invite to, and let them know that this is available. Or you could go ahead and simply cancel it out if no one is available. And the closer you get to the service, you'll have tags over here letting you know, okay, it's starting in less than an hour, in less than 12 hours, whatever you want to set up. And then you could also set up notifications that will let you know here that a job is coming closer to an end. You could set up email notifications to notify you that as well. Or I should say when the closer that it's coming to the start time. So you have a bunch of notifications to set up that you can go ahead and control, and I'll talk to you about them later. So let's go ahead and show you how this will look like from the provider's end as well. It's pretty interesting. Okay, so here we are going to go to the provider section now, and if they're qualified, this booking will be in here. Okay, so see, I'm the provider, and now I'm checking in if there's any extra jobs that I could pick up. And now I see one in here, and I'm just gonna browse and see. Okay, so I'm getting $24 for it. Looks like it's close to me. I like it. I can go ahead and just click this, grab it, and then job grabbed successfully, and it will go ahead and show up in your account, and it is in the upcoming $24, and now it is yours. So now if you go back inside, you will not see this job anymore. It disappears and nobody else could grab it. Okay, so let's reload the page. Nothing in here. Okay, so it was successfully grabbed. That is the whole thing with the unassigned folder. It's a really neat feature that is actually very helpful to a lot of businesses. Job history, pretty straightforward again. We already talked over how this looks. You could always come back and check details. So can the customer, and I'll show you exactly how that looks like over there. Let's click on that. You can see everything in here. If you want to check out specific things, go ahead and do that. You can go ahead and duplicate the job, resend or receive. If you want to see what was done under this booking, you can go ahead and take a look under the booking log. If there were any changes, it'll tell you who did it, and I'll show you how that looks like later as well. You could track if the customer did it or the staff member did it. Cancellations. So let's see, once we cancel an appointment, how that looks. So we'll go ahead and cancel this one. And we'll cancel all of them. Too expensive. Cancel all appointments. Okay, so currently it's reloading. Okay, so now cancellations, they're all in here. There's a cancellation fee, and you could set up your own rules for cancellation fees. It will go ahead and show up here. You could waive the cancellation fee as well based on when you're canceling and all that cool stuff. So, and I'll show you that later as well. So here, you could even delete the booking entirely, which I don't recommend doing, but that's all up to you guys. You could also set up cancellation requests that you have to manually cancel out someone's booking. They will cancel it out on their end, but it won't disappear until you approve it, so you have a chance to save it. So you could do that kinds of things as well. Here are the booking charges. So if someone's paying via cash or check, you can go ahead and mark it as paid for, which will go ahead and end up in the other section. And if it's cash or if it's credit card, you could go ahead and charge the card from here. We'll be introducing new features as well, like automatic charging and cool stuff like that. You could cancel it out before charging it. You could run, filters of who you want to charge, which location, all that cool stuff. Confirmed. This is for flat rate services. If you have hourly services, there will be a plus to confirm the time if it's accurate before you charge, based on how many hours someone was at the job to make sure it's accurate. And then let's go ahead and do a test one. So we'll charge this one $29. It doesn't actually charge anything if it's cash and check. It just marks it as it was paid for. So this is a good way to track if you collected the money. Otherwise, it will always be in the pending section. And here it also tracks everything under your reports accurately. So now if you refund and send 50% of this back to the client, you can go ahead and actually refund it here and do, okay, I'm refunding $10 and I'm sending it, via cash, and I'm going to mail it to them. Now, if you refund it, you'll want to make sure that you do this in here as well so that your reports are accurate. That way you could learn everything about your business at the end of the year, quarter, however you want to track it. And here you'll be able to see, okay, there was no tax on this one, so nothing from tax was refunded. $10 was refunded in total for this reason. And now you could do a bunch of other cool stuff as well, like charge additional amounts if you want. So you could even charge it through cash and check if you want to collect another $50 from the customer. And always you'll be in need of putting in a reason why you're doing so. And then you'll have that separate charge that will show up. So now you have a separate charge here, and now you could refund that one as well from here. And then under the booking, you'll be able to go inside and there will be an adjustment showing of what is happening in there. Okay, so now you have payment adjustment, and now you have everything in here organized to see what happened. You can keep track of everything, and the customer will be able to see that as well. Okay, let's go back. If you want to charge a tip, you can do so. You could do a cash or check or credit card, which automatically will charge them. Since I don't think we have credit cards and Stripe accounts connected right now, we'll go ahead and do it all with cash and check. So now you can go ahead and see there's another separate log for a tip, and you could refund the tip separately. If there's any, other fees that you could set up within the system, they'll all be shown here as well. So this is something cool. If there's any declined cards, you can go ahead and they'll go ahead and show up here, and the customer will be asked to, by email, to switch their cards on file. And we are working on a new process to even avoid this and make it even better and far more improved. So stay tuned for that. Let's see if there's anything else. So drafts, this was pretty straightforward. If someone doesn't complete their booking, they'll go ahead and go in here. If you save it as a draft, then you could finish it at any time. One cool feature with the drafts is that it's very realistic. So if you have a date selected and someone comes in and selects that date, and you come back to this draft, it will notify you that that one was taken, and you have to pick a new time for entire date. Okay, so here you have customers. You go ahead and put in your customers in here and control certain things. So you could see all of their appointments, their job history, all of that cool stuff. You could rate on their behalf or do whatever you like here at tips, pending payments for this person, and you cancel bookings. You have the entire log here, their profile, notes on them, any additional contacts, locations, credit cards. You could go ahead and do certain notifications and disable it for that specific user so they don't get mad if they don't want to receive booking notifications and stuff like that. You could log in as the customer, and basically you'll be taken into their account, and you can come back and log back in as admin with one click of a button. So if they can't do something, you go ahead and adjust it for them from their end if you don't want to do it from here. And then you have gift cards, all of their gift cards, referrals. If you want to add, $50 in referral credits to this person for whatever reason, you could go ahead and do that. Or even if you owe them money or something, you could give it to them in referral credits, which later they'll be able to book with them. And I'll show you how that looks like as well. Deactivated requests, pretty self-explanatory. If they don't want to continue with you and they want to deactivate their account, they will be sent here, and you can go ahead and deactivate them, and they will all be shown here of all of the deactivated ones. Okay, providers, let's touch base on this. So there's two ways of setting it up, either as a team or as an individual. So let's go ahead and look at the individuals first. You can see all of that individuals history and all of their upcoming bookings and cool stuff like that. You could deactivate them and edit their profiles, and you have tons of options to work with when you are a provider. Okay, so you can set them up as an independent contractor, W-2. Here you can go to their settings. Do you want them seeing the unassigned folder? Do you want to turn off this provider or team from being booked by any customer, but can be booked by the merchants only? Here, turn off this provider or team from being booked for same-day jobs, yes or no. And here you have travel time breaks, which is very realistic. So let's say from job to job, they need 1 hour break. That means that the schedule will never schedule something after one job ends. So if a job is from 8 o'clock to 12, the next one that could be scheduled is 1 o'clock, assuming that there's 1 hour travel time added. Okay, so there's never overlapping jobs or anything that will be causing you issues with the scheduling. Okay, here under industry, you could set which industries and forms this person works, and then you'll be able to set wages, different wages for different forms, different wages for different industries, and it will all calculate it for you under the booking. And again, like you've seen earlier, you could still modify that to your preferences under the specific booking itself, so you could change this at any time. And then you have basically any service, any zip code you have in the system, you are able to delete them out of there or prevent these providers or teams being scheduled for those specific services or zip codes or whatever for that location. So if they don't travel to a certain zip code, you could disable that, and they will never be connected with that specific service or zip code or whatever option you have. And you could block customers as well. So if this person doesn't want to go there ever again, or that person or that customer doesn't want this provider ever again, you could search the name, and then you could go ahead and block them, and you will never be connected with the two. Notifications. If there are notifications activated, I don't think there currently are. We'll talk about that later. You can go ahead and disable specific ones here. Then you have your schedule per zone or per location. So if you want someone, in location A to work only Mondays, you could do that. Location B from, let's say, Tuesday to Thursday, you could do that. Specific hours and all that cool stuff. You could set up your own working hours. So you could see this person's working from 1 to 11 on Sundays. You could even do a second set of working hours, so something like 8 to 12, and then a break for 3 hours, and then start again from 3 till 9 p.m. or something like that. And the software will automatically know and detect when to schedule properly, so that there's never any overlapping, or you will never have to do any manual work. Okay, My Drive, we talked a little bit about that. Payments. If there are any payments that are paid, they will be shown here, and I'll show you how that looks like. So this is for the specific provider, and then you have your reviews. So let's quickly actually go over the payments. Since I see one here, we go ahead and select the date. So let's just say that we are paying for this amount for this paying period of 3 days. See what kind of jobs they did. If you want to check it out, you can see that there was a $20 tip already added, so this needs to be paid out. And then if you want to adjust any of these before, you can go ahead and click on the I here. It'll take you to the specific booking. And as long as you haven't paid anything yet, you can go ahead and adjust it. So you will go to the second page and say, okay, I want to change actually this from 50% to $60 or whatever. You can go ahead and do that, and you can go ahead and update that and come back, and it will be reflected before you pay anything out. If you don't want to do that, you could also adjust the entire payment and just send whatever you've adjusted it to. So let's take a look. So we're going back to payments, and now as you can see, a little bit has been changed. Okay, and maybe I accidentally clicked something wrong, but it looked like the booking went away, so I might have even rescheduled it. But basically, it's supposed to switch here, and a new amount will be shown. Okay, so now here you could say, okay, I'm just marking it as paid through cash and check and sending them a check, or if you have Stripe connected, you could go ahead and pay them straight to their bank account, basically, so that it's all there. So I'll just go ahead and mark it as cash and check so that you can go ahead and see how it looks like. And then all your logs will be tracked in here. You have the payment date range, and then you can go ahead and click, which will go ahead and break down everything for you, so you can go ahead and see what happened and what they were paid for specifically. And they could go ahead and view that from their end as well. So if that is in there, I could go ahead and quickly show you. Okay, so let's take a look. So now we're under the payments here, and you could see that this is done. Okay, now when you click on it, again, they could go ahead and check everything from inside of their account. And if they have any issues, they could go ahead and contact you as a merchant. Okay, so this is basically how all of that cool stuff looks like. And marketing, it's just pretty straightforward. You could go ahead and basically set up your coupons with restrictions. What location is it from, for, what dates you want to set it up for, any limitations. All this cool stuff can be found here. Gift cards, we discussed that. Email lists, we basically talked over that. It's you can go ahead and connect your list in MailChimp, and if there are any abandonment carts, you can go ahead and make sure that it is sent to a proper list, and then you can go ahead and set up an email automation based on that. Okay, reports, awesome report features here. Revenue report, you could check based on frequency, how much you're making for a specific time, how much sales tax is collected if you have it activated, all this cool stuff there. Bookings, how many bookings you have, how many unassigned bookings you have, a chart here. Payments to the providers, referrals, how many referrals you're doing, your revenue per booking, and a couple things inside. Ratings, how well your company is performing. Cancellation reports, these are based on the reasons that we provide, and you can go ahead and set that up in any way that you'd like. So you can go ahead and see why people are canceling based on a specific date range or whatever industry, service, whatever you want, and you always have more filters as well, even per provider, why people are canceling services there. Okay, let's see, reports. Services, what services are mainly booked. You can go ahead and look into all that. And now system logs. Here you could see of what the booking change was, current, previous, and you could go ahead and click and view the booking. So you could go ahead and track everything. If it's a customer that's doing it, a staff member, yourself, a provider, whatever is happening, you could go ahead and track it and see when and what is happening. Exactly. Okay, and here you have all of your options that you could set up, and this we won't really cover too much of because there's so much going on here, but I'll show you a couple neat features. So under store options, that's where basically a lot of the stuff is controlled. You'll have your travel breaks, which you could put a default here for, let's say 1 hour, and you can go ahead and extend it per provider and make it shorter. If you use date range or arrival windows, you could tell the system when should the job start calculating. So if the job, let's say, is 4 hours and the timer and the window, arrival window is 8 to 9, and you have middle of the range, they'll start calculating the job from 8:30 plus 4 hours, which will end it at 12:30. And if you have a 1 hour travel break, the next one won't be able to be scheduled till 1:30. Okay, cancellation fees, you could go ahead and set those up. And here's where you could go ahead and set up your reasons. This one is pretty short. Customer, you can go ahead and set up what they see. Do they see someone's first name, last name, all that cool stuff. And customer specify which provider they want coming during booking. You could go ahead and deactivate all that stuff. You could not you can disable same-day bookings and do certain features here. Facebook sharing, you could go ahead and get a coupon, and you could go ahead and give an option for customers to use a share signal, which I'll show you how that looks like on here since King of Maids is using one. Okay, right here, you could grab a coupon, you could activate this, and then someone, when they share it on their Facebook page, they'll get a coupon here automatically that they could go ahead and use on checkout. So you could go ahead and calculate then whatever you want to be used. Referral sharing content for referrals, you can go ahead and put whatever you want in here. So when a customer shares a link from their account, you can go ahead and control what is in here. I'll show you how it looks like in a little bit. This right here, this is a cool, neat feature that I'll show you once we get to that section specifically. Cancellations, here you can control some more things about the managed reasons and where should they show up and all that cool stuff. Here, if you use W-2s, this would be probably something for you. You could go ahead and create rules that if you pay, let's say, $5 per guest per job, it will go ahead and calculate on top of your pay. If you reimburse for supplies or anything like that, it could go ahead and be calculated there as well. Default pay, how much is everyone getting paid by default, and they go ahead and do the same thing under each provider, as you've seen, and then you could even still change it under the actual booking itself. Okay, and here is the scheduling. So you have 3 different ways to look at scheduling. One of them is accept all jobs. This is like an Uber feature. So the provider has to accept or decline the job before it is confirmed. The other one is accepted automatically. So whenever someone books and someone is open, it automatically goes into their account. And then this one is a mix of both. So if someone is booking for same-day jobs, so today they're booking for, let's say, 2 hours ahead from now, the provider has to either accept or decline it. And if they accept it, that's when it will be confirmed. If not, then it will go ahead and go to someone else, and if no one else is available, then basically it will be in the unassigned folder until you cancel it out. And for same-day jobs, this will go ahead and save time calling people and asking if they would like to pick it up. And then accept all jobs. This is a great feature for true independent contractors. You give them the option to look at the job and cancel it or decline it or accept it. And then you could, of course, use the third one where you're just basically not giving them the option of doing neither. It just take it or leave it. And this would be a great option probably for W-2s, as they would have no choice of taking the job. It would be theirs. Okay, and you could also set up times. How long do they have to accept it before it goes to someone else? So if you set it for 10 minutes or 1 hour, after 1 hour, nobody touches it, it'll just look for another person that is open for that time slot and go to them. And like I mentioned, if no one else is open, it'll go ahead and stay with this person till the end. And if they decline it, it'll just end up in the unassigned folder for good. And here you have some other cool options for the provider. So should they see their own rating and stuff like that. Okay, and do you allow combining of individuals? So if you want to combine people and send 2 people in for a job, you could go ahead and do that from your end only, and the customer will not be able to pair anybody, but you will. So if, for example, if you have someone that's a veteran and a new person, and you want to bring the new person in with the veteran to a specific job, you can go ahead and do that. Okay, and here, admin, you can go ahead and customize minimum of gift cards, how much referral credits do you offer every time a referral process is completed, and then here you can go ahead and activate your Stripe accounts, your credit cards, and stuff like that. Taxes, here you could go ahead and activate taxes per location. You could configure Taxify, which is currently US based only, and it will do everything automatically for you, including it is a additional fee that service charges, but they do file all your taxes for you, your sales tax with the state if you do need that done and all that cool stuff. So you could go ahead and do that. You could go ahead and specify which locations you charge tax for and all that good stuff. Let's see. Themes, we already talked about that. Checklists. So for checklists, you could go ahead and create your own checklists that providers could go ahead and follow on the job. Industries, this is where you set up all of the good stuff, your prices, your frequencies, packages, your locations, different pricing per locations. If you want custom sections, you could go ahead and create those as well. Basically, everything is up for grabs, and whatever you want to do, you could go ahead and do it tailored to your business. Okay, here, you could go ahead and add multiple industries, pick from the list, or you could go ahead and customize your own and embed your form later when you're done on your current website. Staff members, this is where you would go ahead and add those in. Booking spots, this is where you could go ahead and create your booking spots per location and what customers can pick from. And then later when they're scheduling, these are the times that will go ahead and show up, and they will only show up if the providers are actually available for those times. So 100% accuracy in scheduling. Notifications. So we briefly talked about that, and that's basically you can go ahead and activate certain email notifications, modify them later to your liking for your customers, providers, staff members. You could go over all of them. Here's just a quick look at what they could be, so you could take a quick look at it. And you could go ahead and set up SMS notifications and activate what you want it to say. So you could go ahead and this is what would be sent. I believe we are under the admin section. Your booking was created, so when someone makes a booking, you can connect it to your phone and you'll get a notification that someone just booked. You could go ahead and do app notifications, and you could go ahead and do system alerts as well. So if you want to check out, for example, certain things like this, so here you could see that this important extra charge needs to be collected. So this one there was an extra charge that we made earlier, and it was charged via cash and check. So now this notification is letting you know not to forget to collect the payment from them, since it was not charged by a credit card. You still have to collect the payment. And whatever notifications you set up here, they will show up here in this bell feature, so you could go ahead and always be notified. Okay, and that is basically it with our demo. I hope everything is much more clear now to you. And if you guys have any questions, please let us know, and we will be happy to assist you.